Thank you so much for joining the live. I'm very excited to solve the challenge with you. You can only help me when I need help, so you don't have to help me with the challenge at all. I would like to. I've started to solve, I think, the first question when validating the email, but I didn't continue because I wanted to do this live with you because it would be more exciting, and I think people will see how real OSINT investigations are when you are performing it, because not everything is going to work from the first time. First of all, let me share my screen. Okay, before we continue, guys, here is the tech enthusiast account. He posts a lot of OSINT content and he has over 15k followers on Twitter. He's very active on Twitter and LinkedIn, so you can follow him on his accounts. And he recently created an OSINT challenge, which we will solve today. And there is another OSINT challenge about cryptocurrency, I think, that we can solve another time. But for now, let's go to the challenge that you have created. Let me get the URL first. You can send me the URL. All right, so before we get started, first of all, I'm going to read the challenge. So here we have an OSINT challenge. It's about a human trafficker, and we need to find information about this person. And here are the primary objective. The first one is to verify the authenticity and the ownership of the email given, which is this one, and then map out the email's owner's digital and physical footprint by cross-referencing data from public records, social media, and online platforms, and then identify potential associates, address history, and recent online activity that may indicate his current location. And at the end, we need to generate an actionable intelligence report and visual relationship maps to support law enforcement operations. And here we have some guidelines, but for now, let's start with the challenge. So here we have an email address. I'm going to copy it and then go to my Kali machine. And this is the challenge. And the first thing I'm going to do, since I have an email address, is to go to google.com, for example, and try to log into this account just to see whether this account exists or not. All right, so I'm going to add the email address like this and click on next. And now it asks for the password, which means that the email address exists. What I also usually do once I have a Gmail account or a Hotmail account is to click on forgot password, because sometimes this will reveal some other information. So here we can see that the person has a Gmail app and it needs to confirm that somebody's logging into this account. I'm going to click I don't have my phone, and I might get some other information like a partial email address. I can also copy this email address and add it to my notes, but I'm not going to do this for now. And click on try another way, and we might get anything else, and we didn't. So we can see that this email address exists, and it also has a Gmail app on its phone, and there is an associated email address connected to this one. So I'm going to go to epieos, and if you don't know what epieos is, epieos will check where this email address is registered. So here I have an account. You can create a free account and log in, add the email address, and then click on search. And then we need to solve the CAPTCHA. And as you can see here, we can see a person's profile picture, and we can also see that this account was last updated on 17th of May, which is recent. And we can check if there is any Google Maps review, public Google Maps review. And we can see that there are no reviews. So let me come back, and here we have profile picture. I can save it on my desktop, for example. And I'm also going to open my notes and add the email address. The ID and the last update time. Now, in a real OSINT report, you always need to add this information because these are very crucial, because Sometimes you might find an email address that was not updated like 2 or 3 years ago, and you will know that this account is not active. We can also scroll down and we can see nothing. So what we can also do is take the first part of the email address and use it as a username. You want to see where this username is being used. And to do this, we are going to use a tool called Sherlock. So I'm going to type Sherlock and then just add the username and then hit enter. And we can see that the comment is incorrect. So let me see the help menu. Okay, now for some reason it doesn't work, but this is not a problem because we can use a different tool. So let me go to my browser. So this is something that always happens, like sometimes tools stop working, and for the sake of the video, I don't want to solve the issue or the problem with this tool because this might take some time. And to avoid this, I'm going to use a different tool like ID Crawl. And they have a feature called username search. Let me zoom in. And then I'm going to add the username and click on search. And this will search for this username on multiple social media platforms. And what I really like about this tool is that it only searches on main social media platforms. Like it doesn't look in hundreds of websites, but I think it's enough to just get an idea where this username is used on social media. And we can see here that we have an Instagram profile. And if we scroll down a little bit, we can see another profile called Thread by Threads. And it has the exact same profile picture that we saw on his Google account. Right. Now let me come back, scroll down more, and we can see nothing. So I'm going to copy the URL and put it in my notes. And the URL here as well, and put it in my notes. And after this, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to have a look at the information displayed in here. So we can see that this is his Instagram account that we found. It's the same one, which is linked. And we can see some other information, and it seems to be in a different language. So I'm going to go to Google Translate and then click on detect language and click on English, and it says I love nature, tourism and traveling. So I'm just going to copy this and add it in here. And here we have a website which we'll investigate later. And we can see a post or a picture with a certain text. Now, this seems to be like a text that is converted to a different hash, for example. I don't know which one is it, but in order for me to identify it, what I can do is just copy this text and go to a website like cybershief.com, or it's cybershief like this. And what this tool does is that it will immediately detect what type of text this is, and then it will give me a suggestion what type of hash that is. So in this case, it is a base 64, and we can see that it means meetup. So apparently the person wants to meet in this location. We can also see some other text, but for now, let's identify where this picture was taken. And in order for us to do this, what I'm gonna do is search for this image on Google. And this is a technique called reverse image search, which is a type of search that does not involve searching for a text, and it only involves searching for images. So to do this, I'm gonna go to google.com and then click on this camera icon and then add the image link or upload the image. In my case, I already have the picture, so I'm gonna search for it. And we can see that it is a museum in Senegal. So I'm going to copy this I'm gonna say location, and then I'm going to go to his threads profile and let me copy meetup. So the meetup is going to be at this location. Now let's scroll down a little bit. Now we can see here a text. So let's see the text that is related to this thread. So I'm gonna copy it, and we're gonna do or use the exact same method. I'm gonna copy the text and then go to the CyberSudo. Let me cancel this, and we can see it's saying my next place to be after the festive period in Brazil. It's going to be some easy cash gotten on some payroll. Haha. How many container to be extracted? I guess 150 container from Senegal and other from Chad. Now I don't know whether this is the place or not. So I love business. So let me copy this and add it in here, because this might all like make sense after we gather more information. Right. So he's saying my next place to be after the festive period is Brazil. So this is gonna be the next place he's going to visit probably. And he's gonna get 50 containers from Senegal and other from Chad. I don't know where Chad is, so let me search for it. So it's in Central Africa, right here. So we have a location in here and a location in here and Brazil. Okay, let's come back. We can see some other replies related to this thread. So let me copy this one, and it seems to be hexadecimal, I believe. Let me check. It's a hex text. So here we can see that this has been translated to this readable text. It's saying let me secretly send this to my friend Louis to know about our meetup. And we can see the geo coordinates, the phone number, and a country code. Now, and I think this is very, very useful. So let me copy the coordinates and see where this is. So it's in Michigan, USA. I'm going to keep this tab open because we might need it to verify some other information. We can also see a phone number with a country code. Now, if you have tried to use True People Search, it's not going to work if you are not from the United States. You'll be blocked, so you always need to use a VPN. But what I always like to do is just to use Google and then search for the number, and we might get some other information. All right, let me go to phone lookup. Now, if you don't know this tool, and we didn't get anything. But for now, let's keep the information that we have. And the name was Louis. So let's come back to the CyberSudo, G coordinates, phone, and his friend that he's going to meet up with is called Louis. All right, let's come back to his account. We might find something else. Okay, this seems to be like a hash. I'm going to add the magic tool. I'm going to just keep it for now. I don't know for what I'm going to use it, but let me keep it for now. It could be like a password. It's probably a password, I think that. So let's copy this binary text and translate it with the CyberSudo. from binary. Company, craze export, occupation, shifting manager. Okay, let's copy this. And let's come back. And here we have another text. We also have some flight details from Miami to Sao Paulo. Okay, let me copy it, add it in here, and then come back. All right. So here we have extracted all the information that we were able to find and translated to a human readable text that we can use later. And we can also see some other information. So let me translate this text. It was fun working with programming with my old Luis in Brazil. So he was in Brazil with Luis, the information that we have got before. Now on my way to my residence to spend some time with my family during the holidays. And then we have information. So I believe that this is where his family is. Let me copy this. And search for it. What I'm also going to do is to search for the picture that was posted on his Threads account to see whether it matches the address that we have got. So let me search for it. I don't know whether it's relevant or not, but we can just search for it. Okay, it's Michigan. I think that this picture was taken in Michigan, but let's confirm this. Hart Plaza, Detroit. Now I think this is the building that we saw on his Threads account. So let me check this again. My computer is lagging. Yeah, I think it's the Hart Plaza. All right, Detroit, Hart Plaza, Detroit. Let me close this. Okay, let's come back to the account and scroll down. Let's see if there's any comments. There aren't in here. Let's scroll down here, and here aren't any comments. And we can translate this text to be it was fun being here. So we need to identify this location, and we can also see a time, so we know when he was at this place. We don't know whether he posted this image when he was here or he posted this afterwards. So let's search for this image. So what we are doing right now is basically gather as much information as possible, because this can be very helpful to get a conclusion afterwards. Alright, so it's this place in Brazil. So Fernando de Noronha, I think. Okay, let's copy this picture and let's come back. And the comment that he made. Now, in a real case scenario, you always need to save all of these pictures because you want to use them in your reports. You want to check the timestamp. We can also see the time when he was here. So it was 5:58 p.m. on Monday. So let's come back. The second thing that we have is this website. So let's visit it. And we can see that it's not available anymore, but we can copy it and search for it in the archive.org. Now, the archive.org is a huge database of archived files, media, websites. So you can add a certain website and check whether it's been archived or saved before, because this will allow us to see how this website looked like before. So we can see that was active in 2021, 2019, but it was mostly active between 2020 2012 and 2013. So let me click right here. Okay, it's for sale, so there isn't anything important. Let me go to 2014. We might get something else. Now, in every case scenario, you always need to check all the links because you don't know what information can you find. Let me go to 2017 and 2004. I think it's a ticket management service that's been used. Okay, let's just copy the website, put it in our notes because we don't know when we are going to use it. And right now I'm going to go to who.is and see if the registrant information are available. Okay, so the register is Turn Commerce. Let's scroll down if we can see anything. Okay, so these are only information about the company Huge Domains, and it's not related to the target that we are looking for. Okay, let's come back to the task. Okay, verify the authenticity and the ownership of the email address. Okay, we didn't get a name, but we only have this name, crayfield@gmail, and the account exists with this profile picture, so this email address already exists, so we are done with this task. Map out the email owner digital and physical footprint by cross-referencing data from public records. I think these are the information that we found before. Identify potential associates, address history, and recent online activity that may indicate his current location. Okay, let's read the information that we previously found. Alright, so he loves nature and traveling, and the meetup is going to be at this place, and he's going to go to Brazil, and he has a company called Crazy Export. We can search for this one as well. We might get something. I've got some flight details from Miami to Sao Paulo, and that he was in Brazil. So he was at this place in Brazil. Let's open our Google Maps. So this person was in here. I'm gonna put it in my favorites because he said it was fun being here, and he was with his friend Louis, and then he's going to his residence, spend time with family during the holidays, and this should be the residence. So the company is currently active and it's been created at this time, but I don't think that this is related to the OSINT challenge. Let me click on people and see any name. So these names are not related to the people that you are looking for. So far we know that he was in Brazil and that he's going to spend the holiday with his family, and we know that he's a shifting manager at Crazy Export, and he's going from Miami to Sao Paulo, but we don't know when he's going to Sao Paulo from Miami. Okay, let me search for the phone number. Now if they have blocked me, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna change my VPN to a US VPN just so that we can get access to through people search. And we can see it's a landline number, and we didn't get a name, and it's also from Grand Rapids in Miami, so this matches the address that we have found before. So we have his phone number, we have his address, and we know in which street he lives, but we don't know in which house number he lives. Let me use that then, we might get something else. And we did not. Okay, so I'm gonna change my VPN. Okay, we didn't find any accounts. Okay, so here we have a hotel that is near the place where he's going to, but I'm not sure whether he wants to stay in this hotel. So Precious, you can help me with this challenge for now. I've gathered information, but I don't know, did I solve the challenge, or there is something more? Now I have verified the email, and I've got his digital footprint, like, and so his social media accounts, etc. And then you said identify associates and address history. We know that he was in Brazil at this place, and that he's going to visit his family to this place, and he wants to go to Senegal and Chad to get some containers. And then we need to generate a report. So I don't know whether I should gather something else, but I don't know what to do with this password or this. Yeah, like, thank you so much for creating and contributing to the OSINT community and being so active in teaching people. I think this is great. I like to teach and share my knowledge because this is how we learn from each other. And there are also many people who can't afford to buy like expensive courses or join some seminars or go to live classes. So I think sharing our knowledge, and this will help everybody to learn from each other. So thank you so much for having me and giving me the opportunity to solve this challenge. So have a nice day, and thank you so much, Precious, and I'll see you.